Welcome to the Live Tap Podcast. I'm your host, Damian Trailer, and today I have Walker Capelle tapping in with me. Welcome to the show, Walker.
Appreciate it, Damien.
Man, how you been, man?
Been doing good. Nice to be here.
Yeah, man, I heard y'all season just concluded, man. It's been a long season for y'all. How was that for you?
It was pretty good. I felt like I had a good season. Team performed pretty well, so it was exciting to just kind of see it unfold this weekend.
Can you tell me your class, graduation, what major you are, and what sports you play?
So I'm a graduate student here at Piedmont. My major is business administration, and I run cross country and track.
Okay. Wait, you in track too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell me business administration, is that a very hard major, or what is that for you?
So I'm actually in the MBA program here at Piedmont, which is I feel like it's a pretty prestigious master's program that we have. So it's definitely not the easiest, but, I make it work. And, they adapted it actually this year to be fully online. So that's been a big adjustment for me.
Yeah, that's good, man. You did sail my freshman year when I was a Voyager, and I was a navigator this past year. Can you tell me your, can you tell me your experience as a navigator doing sail?
Yeah, so I was a navigator my junior and senior year here at Piedmont.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually didn't get into sail as a freshman. So it took me a while to get in as a navigator, but I did that for 2 years, and I find it like more of a humble experience. You get to work with people and kind of help people in a position that you were in all your time at Piedmont. So for me, I just kind of, wanted to help students and these freshmen come in with things that I struggled with.
So you were a navigator 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, which this is a very important question to me because no shade against Miss Dyer. Miss Dyer, I love you to death, but the past campsite we had this past year, it was not the best. Like the one that me and you had went to my freshman year as a Voyager last year.
Oh, that one was fun.
I'm telling you, bro.
It was like old school camp.
Man.
I liked it. The blob and the little lake. I thought that was fun.
And the food was amazing, bro.
Oh, dude. What was it? Didn't they have churros that one day? Or
Yes, bro.
Something like
and
that.
And they had like chocolate chip brownies.
Oh, dude.
And they were the bomb.
Yeah,
but,
that place was nice.
Yeah, bro. But this past year, like the food was horrible.
I heard some horror stories,
man,
about that place.
Yeah, we went through it. I'm not gonna lie, like it was a long story, man. Draylon and them got lost on the trail. You heard about that too?
I think so.
Yeah, bro. But I mean, cause I was asking Bella, I was like, "Where's Walker?" She's like, "He didn't do it this year." I was like, "Oh my god, bro."
Yeah, I tried. I was trying to be an RA to help pay for grad school this semester, and I got declined, and I totally forgot to submit my sale application too. And then I emailed Annika, and I was like, "Hey, can you let me in, or is there any interviews available?" And she was like, "No, I'm sorry." So yeah, I was like, "Well, that blows," but
well, I mean, I enjoyed you being, one of the navigators my freshman year, so
it was a fun time. Good experience.
Yeah, man, it was a great experience. This past weekend, you found out you were awarded U.S. Cross Country All-Region at the NCAA South Region Championships. Congrats on that, bro.
Thank you. Long season, lots of work to get that honor.
And you also won CCS Runner of the Year. How you feel about that one?
Pretty happy about that. That was one of my big goals coming into the season. I wanted to be the best in the conference. So
yeah, how did you find out though? Was it a call, text, surprise?
So it's actually interesting. Cross country it's so polarizing compared to the other sports here, even track.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they award all of us right after the race. So we're all beat, sweaty, like freaking disgusting after the race, and then they line us up for awards and give us medals for placement, and then award the team that won. And then at the end of it all, they announce the runners of the year and the rookie of the year and the coaches of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, literally right after the race, I won, and so we were just sitting around getting our medals for all conference and all that stuff, and then they announced the Runner of the Year award, so based on the conference performance.
No, that's great, man. I mean, my question for you is, with all these accomplishments that you achieved this year, how do you feel about reaching these accomplishments, and were they goals going into the season for you?
So basically, before I came here, cross country, we've got three months of all by ourselves training, no contact with our coach, just doing our own thing. So this summer I just spent every day like visualizing what I wanted to do when I came back on campus, everything I wanted to accomplish. I wanted to get the school record. I wanted to win conference, make all region, and put myself in a position for nationals. And, once I stepped foot on campus, I just kind of kept following through with that just visualization and those goals, and just once I got momentum, I just couldn't stop and just kind of rolled forward when me and coach started working together.
We're gonna get into coach a little bit later in the show, but on to the sports questions. How do you juggle a student athlete lifestyle on a day-to-day basis?
It's pretty hard. Even back during, I'd compare like undergrad to grad.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty polarizing, but it's been a struggle this year not having any in-person classes. So I just kind of sit in my room most of the day and do my schoolwork, and I look forward to showing up to practice every day because I don't got anything else to do. But it's just really just lots of time commitment, making sure I have my priorities straight, get my homework done when I'm not practicing. That way, the early hours I can get all my miles in for the day. So, yeah, lots of work for sure.
Yeah, because, you're a graduate student now. So
Yeah.
I was going to ask, like, time management-wise, like, how do you handle that with all the free time on your hands, I'm guessing? Because you don't have no in-person classes, so.
No. So I basically, I guess, now I don't like going to bed late, but this semester I've been going to bed really late and just kind of making sure I get my sleep as an athlete. And then first thing I do is I eat, and I just hop on my computer, try and knock out whatever classwork I can for a couple hours, and then go to practice, come back, and just do the same thing. And then I usually only have to do school for about 2 to 3 days a week. And so then like half the week I'm just sitting there, and I'll do chores around the apartment or just find stuff to research, looking at jobs, that kind of stuff. So lots of free time, more than I wish I had, but I make it work.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. This past couple weeks, like, I'm a sports comm major, so we don't really be having class on Fridays. Like,
Exactly.
only class I'd be having on Friday is theater, and
Okay.
that's like 11. So I'm done by 12.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been having a little bit of free time on my hands lately. So I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hard to juggle because it's like, what do I gotta do after I do what I gotta do? It's classes and chores, and I have to get on the game. So. But my next question for you is, what made you fall in love with the sport of cross country or track and field?
Yeah, that's a great question, because most of the time when I tell people that I run, they're like, "No way you run!" Like I hate running, and so I actually started running very late in high school. I didn't start running till my spring semester of my junior year. So I started track, and then I got 1 season of cross country and 2 years of track in high school. And from there, I'd done team sports before throughout my time in high school, but I'd never done, like in high school, I'd never done a sport. I did in middle school and elementary school. So it was just unique. We had a weird dynamic in high school, so I didn't really have a team, and then COVID hit right when I was trying to go to college, so that was weird. And so, then Piedmont was one of 2 places I was looking at, them and Reinhardt and Valdosta State. And Coach Jimison and the people here at Piedmont kind of just made me feel welcome, and the running culture seemed very, very positive, a different dynamic from high school. So I kind of got roped into it and got here, and it's been crazy ever since then, just getting used to that, all the miles, because it's a huge time commitment, more than people realize, because I wake up early in the mornings to get my first run in, and then go to practice in the afternoon. I do that 4 days a week, and then Saturday we have long runs, so I'm out running for 2 hours plus, running anywhere between 15 to 16 or 13 to 16 miles every weekend. And then we've got 3 workouts a week plus lift, and we do a lot of like core stuff. So
Oh, Jesus Christ.
it's a lot of work. Definitely compared to, like, you see the basketball students and tennis and especially baseball too, all the times they put in, and we don't have a facility, so we're just out here just doing it on our own.
Y'all just thugging it out, basically.
Yeah, no locker rooms, no nothing. So that's another thing I will say, falling in love and really dedicating myself to the sport, especially here at Piedmont. You have to be kind of you got to have a different mindset because, we don't have anything. Our locker room is the Mize hallway, and we don't have we don't have a place to put anything. All of our supplies is tucked away under the closet of the Mize.
Really?
Yeah, like all of our hurdles, all of our throwing equipment that the throwers use too, and then all of our our team tent and stuff that we use to travel to meets gets stuffed in the closet.
Oh, hold on, bro. I didn't know that.
Yes, it's actually wild.
Have
Not many.
Coach Jemison talked to Coach Peoples about it?
Yeah, it's been an ongoing issue since well before I got here, but definitely now that it's been trying to get something to work.
Man, I did not know that, bro. Well, if that's the case, man, props to y'all because I be seeing I be coming from class, I be seeing y'all running and stuff around the campus, and man, bro, I can only imagine in that hot weather too early in the semester.
Summer's bad.
I'm like, I don't know how y'all do it, man. Y'all be burning up outside.
Yeah.
I be in a car too. I'd be like, how do they be running like that?
Exactly, and those are the days we're allowed to run because there's lots of days where the heat index is too high and the trainers tell coach that we can't practice outside. So we either have to go in the treadmill or coach has to schedule a 5 a.m. practice.
5 a.m.? Y'all do 5 a.m. practices too?
Yeah, run, not just, like a little workout or anything. We'll get our miles in. And so for someone like me who's got the highest mileage on the team, I'm running anywhere between 8 to 10 miles every day. So at 5 a.m.
Yo, I can only imagine having to wake up in the morning and coach would be like, yeah, let's get these miles in, y'all. That's crazy, bro.
And
man.
we had to do it for a stretch. I think it was back in September when we had that big heat wave before the hurricane.
I'm already knowing.
Yeah, we had to wake up for an entire week at 5 a.m. to do practice, workouts included. So
I thought only lacrosse had 5 a.m. practices. I was just interviewing Tamar and Levette last week, and they were like, they're the only ones who really do 5 a.m.s. I didn't know y'all did it too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Because I was just about to ask you what makes cross country unique from the other sports here at Piedmont, but I mean, I guess I know now. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
What made you come to Piedmont to play with cross country, Lou?
Really, I had a good high school coach in high school. He really took care of me. I mean, I was someone who'd never participated in team sports took a big break from that for a while between middle school, and so he kind of took me in and showed me the ins and outs of running and kind of helped me establish that. So I only had him for a year, and I kind of felt lost. And then COVID hit, and I'd already done my my visit with Coach Jemison right before COVID, and then I don't know. I just kind of felt at peace. My grandparents lived down the road, so I know the area pretty well. And really, I would say just Coach Jemison. He just kind of showed the excellence of the program and the way he coaches, and not boasting and bragging, and being very humble about what he does, and just showed. I went to practice for my visits. I saw them at practice, and they're just low key. They get all their stuff done. They put their head down and go to work, and that's just kind of the vibe that I
Basically
roll
all he
with.
was about.
Yeah.
Coming into the season, as an upperclassman that you are, what impact were you trying to have on your teammates this year?
Yeah. So I was the captain. I was the captain last year, and coming into the season, I stepped down for personal reasons, but I still like to say I'm very vocal on the team. I just try to take a step back and let our new captain, Jaden, take that role and embrace that this year. But really, I try to lead by example, and that can be a hard thing, especially we have a really old team, so that can be really hard because most of these guys already have a routine or have things that they do. But especially this year, we don't have many underclassmen, so it's been hard to kind of just show how hard I work and show the effort and the things that they should be doing, and to, let them see that. And that's my big thing, but I've tried to change and try and be a bit more vocal. It's backfired on me because some people just don't reciprocate it the way I do.
It's understandable.
They don't have the same passion that I do, but to each their own. I mean, we're a D3. We're not here on scholarship. People are here to run because they love to run. So that's personal choice. But I mean, for me, I just try to be the best leader I can be, rally the troops, get them ready to go on the weekend, make sure they're doing the proper things just to take care of themselves. Really, to me, you can not care and come to practice and be like, oh, I hate running. But at the end of the day, if you're not doing the little things, you're not going to be successful in the long run.
Not gonna be runner of the year.
That too.
Your season just concluded this past weekend at the South Region Championships. What were your overall thoughts about your individual play and your team play or run?
Yeah. So that course we ran on this weekend was actually our conference course.
Mm-hmm.
So I set a course record for myself by 10 seconds, something like that. So basically, I just ran faster than I did at conference. It was okay. I had some lofty goals, try to make nationals. I believe I was ranked 25th in the region going into the meet. I didn't place that high. The course is kind of slow, and I felt like this season I feel like I didn't prepare myself enough for that difficult of a course, so that's on me. But going into it, I've maintained the same confidence I have. I know I'm the best runner in the conference. I know I'm one of the top runners in the region, and I can compete with most runners in Georgia that are part of the cross-country programs here in Georgia. So I just been trying to carry that mentality, and it was successful. I made all region, which is, for those that don't know, cross-country's got so many weird rules. All region is top 35, and there's 250 runners at region every year.
250?
250.
That's a lot, bro.
Maybe less. Maybe it's like 200. But we race against 22 teams. So I got 32nd or 33rd. So I got a nice little medal for that achievement. But the team did okay. It's been kind of a struggle for us this season. I would say our key struggle has been consistency. Yeah. We've shown flashes of greatness, and it's just we've had a hard time channeling that this season. And we did a really good job middle of the season at Roanoke, where I broke the school record. The team actually broke a school record as well. We had the fastest team finish in school history.
Okay.
I believe the average time was like 27:10.
Congrats y'all on that.
Yeah, appreciate it. They forget to put that one in the graphics sometimes, but that's okay. So, I mean, we've shown flashes of what we're capable of, and then ultimately at conference, we were seeded to win in the preseason polls, and we fell short. And I just feel that as an older team, we're graduating 6 seniors, and 5 of those guys are our top 5.
Ooh.
So we've had to ask a lot of our underclassmen who either aren't developed yet or are starting to develop, which is a hard thing when they don't come in prepared, or if they're like, cross country is a building sport. Especially at the D3 level, there's not many people that come in like primed to succeed, and you got to continue to get better and grow. And so I feel like that was a lot of what our underclassmen were, and so we were asking a lot of them to step up and try and do the best they could all season. And it didn't end up the way we wanted to. We didn't win back-to-back this year, but, I mean, I'm proud of them. They've overcome a lot of physical and mental things this year, and they showed a good effort. I'd say the really disappointing thing at region was we're 0-3 versus Covenant, which kind of sucks. Yeah, conference opponent, 0-3.
Oh, man.
We lost to them at A6, lost to them at conference, and then lost to them at region. So it kind of blows.
So go ahead.
Especially when, like, guys like me leading the team, for me, I feel like as a leader and being the number one, there's not anything else I can do other than run. Yeah. So it just kind of stings because I've always felt like that's been my role on the team is, no matter the odds, I'm going to put myself out there and give us a shot to win. And this season has kind of been the opposite. It's been I'm going to give myself a shot to win and get my own accomplishments, but the rest of the guys, it's like I can only do so much.
So would you say Covenant would be you guys' rival?
No, not really. We've had, I wouldn't say we had beef with them. More their coach. A couple of years back, we had beef with their coach. She was pretty disrespectful to us my sophomore year. Because something happened, and they had an interim coach, and this girl stepped in, and she was talking all this mess to us.
Yeah.
And they ended up beating us that year, my sophomore year, but then she went and bragged about it on Facebook. I know.
On Facebook,
On
bro?
Facebook, yeah.
Out of every social media app, Facebook?
Yeah, you know how petty you have to be to go gloat about beating a D3 team in conference on Facebook?
Facebook is nasty work.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, I didn't talk to a lot of athletes so far on this podcast, and, you know, like, I didn't hear, like, I think it was Austin say they have to get their get back on Pfeiffer, and then Tamar and Levette were talking about they gotta get their get back on, or with Thorpe. So, I mean.
Yeah. I would say biggest rival, I guess you could argue Berea. Even though they just left our conference, which stings. I'll give you a fun story that about last year. So at track conference, we were blowing everybody out. We had already won. It came down to the 4x4, the last event of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, really our guys were only running for time to try and PR because I think we had 3 seniors on the team who wanted to, like, set a personal best. And so there was an incident where on the so in the 4x4 you exchange through batons, and so and you have like an exchange zone, and you line up on the track waiting in like an oscillating order depending on what guy's coming through.
Mm-hmm.
We were in first, and so Chris Donsrow, fellow sports comm guy, that's my boy right there. He was our anchor, and so last leg of the 4x4, Berea's grabbing Chris, preventing him from getting like loose into the exchange zone to get ready to get the baton, and like started shoving him and talking all this mess to him, like, you ain't crap, you're not gonna do anything, like, you're slow, Piedmont sucks, or whatever. They're salty because we beat them by 50 points already.
Oh my God, 50 ball?
50 points. We put up 100, or I think we put up 200 points at track conference last year. And so he's talking all this mess, and Chris was like, yeah, you can talk after the race. And Chris set a PB, or tied his PB. He ran like a 49 high, which is pretty good. And smoked them. I mean, he beat him by like 3 seconds. And he came across the line and said, yeah, keep talking that mess. And the beret guy got in his face and started a fight.
Yeah.
And there was like 30 of us pulling them apart. Like, it was crazy because they were salty because we won already. And so conference was already determined, and they're going crazy. And then their coach got into one of our players' face, and so our coach Jimbo had to get into his face. And Jimbo is a Berea alumni, so he ran there when he was in college.
Okay.
And so he like knows most of the coaches there and is really friendly with them.
Mm-hmm.
And their head coach got in his face and started, I mean, yelling, screaming, cussing him out. It was bad. And Jimbo is if you see him on campus, he's got the goofy little English flat cap, and he's doing his power walk on campus or his little jogs. I mean, he's the most calm-headed, nicest person you'll ever meet. Never seen him so mad. He was like, how dare you disrespect me? How dare, I'm an alumni. I've given to this program. I've coached to this program. I know your athletic director and this, and this. How dare you treat me and my athletes like that? And it got so bad, Coach Peoples was there.
Yeah.
And had to separate them.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
So definitely, long story short, Berea by far is our biggest beef.
Okay. All right, just cool. I had to make sure, because everybody I talked to, whether it was on air or off air, then told me like, hey, yeah, like this team we're targeting this year, or we gotta get back on this team for this, or this team looking to get back on us, you know, because what we did in last year. So
yeah.
I just wanted to ask you that. But on to the next question: what impact has Coach Jemison had on you this season that contributed toward your success?
This season, a lot. That guy is special. He holds a special place in my heart. Sometimes we don't see eye to eye on a lot of some things outside of running, but he just finds a way to reel me back in when things go bad. There's been a lot of, I guess you could say, personal stuff between me and the team from time to time.
Yeah.
It just comes up because I just say what's on my mind, and that just offends people. And I don't mean it disrespectfully. I'm just going to tell you what's on my mind because I'm a leader. I've been a leader since I stepped foot on the team, and people just take that to heart.
You got to keep it real with them, though.
Yeah, and I mean, especially with us, we are together all year round. We don't get an off season because we do cross country and track. So I'm with the endurance crew 9 months out of the year. So I mean, that's a long time to be grinding every day in practice, and things have popped up in the past, and we don't see eye to eye on that from time to time. But I know he just keeps it professional, and he understands where I'm coming from. That it's a place of love and passion, and then he just reels me back in and helps me focus. And so that aspect, yes, he's still a great guy. Love him for that because he just treats me as a person and understands my emotions. And then coaching wise, the greatest coach I've ever had, out of all team sports I've ever been a part of.
Mm-hmm.
He's just sacrificing. He's older. He's got 3 kids and a wife. So and running's a grueling sport because we travel. We don't have facilities, so we travel every weekend. So he's away from his family almost every weekend out of the month. So he sacrifices. He does so much, and I'm just so thankful for him and the training. His training style has really worked well with me, and we've set a lot of plans and goals this season, and it's paid off. And couldn't be happier for him for all the awards. Three-time Coach of the Year, maybe 4-time. I can't remember correctly. In the USA South and in the CCS, so he's got a lot of accomplishments. I just wish got a little more recognition for his work here on campus would be my big thing. But love that guy to death. I'm gonna miss him.
Yeah, shout out Coach Jemison, man. Well, you're a grad senior though, but you're still it's your last year, right?
Yeah,
okay,
last
cool.
year.
So this question go to you. With this being your last year, what are you most thankful for, whether it's on or off the course? Here at Piedmont.
Here at Piedmont, my family, for sure. Like my Piedmont family.
Yeah.
Even like people that aren't on the team and people that are on the team. It's weird being a grad student. I thought I know a lot of people on campus, so I was like, oh, this year, even though I'm gonna be doing my own thing, I'm still gonna see a lot of people.
Yeah.
Totally forget how many people are like my guys and my girls. Yeah, definitely my family, my roommates for sure. All on the track team, great guys, great to be around. Yeah, it's just been weird not seeing as many people. I lost a lot of my guys off the team. Shout out to Brady and Johnny on men's lax. Those were my boys, that for sure. Outside of my teammates, for sure, those were my guys. But yeah, that's one of the biggest things I'm grateful for. It really helped motivate me to want to come back this year because I was thinking about going to stop running and go get my MBA at UGA or somewhere else. And I told myself, I was like, I have a place here where people love me, and I have a sport that I love to do, and I was like, I just don't think I'm ready to give that up yet. And that was a huge deciding factor in coming back this year.
That's real, man. When your college career is over, what career path would you like to pursue?
I've got a couple options I'm looking at. Definitely like to get into maybe some financial stuff, whether that's through real estate, I guess is technically financial, or like insurance. Mm-hmm. And then I've also been thinking a lot about getting into the beer industry, trying to get involved with representations and, working in a company, something like that. Especially something local would be ideal for me.
Okay. On to the mental side questions now.
Okay.
Do you feel like mental health is important in the sports world?
Definitely. For sure. Mental health is one thing. Yeah, mental health is extremely important, and especially social media has really done a great job, I would say, the past probably 6 to 7 years, really bringing in an awareness to something that, older people and older generations, not that they're not aware of, but they're not realizing the impact that it has, especially like you see in physical sports, like football, all the stuff with concussions. I think that has a huge play with mental health, especially you're seeing cases like with Tua Tagovailoa on the Dolphins, bro. That many concussions. Not only, is his like brain health a huge concern, but
Yeah.
also you got to think about like what's he thinking on the field when he sees those big guys coming at him out of the pocket. I mean that to me, on top of like, crap, I'm a quarterback. I'm trying to not turn over the ball, give my guys a chance to win, and then also I got to protect myself so I don't get any concussions.
Yeah.
And so mental health is a huge impact on sports, and especially I would say cross country, just because you can go out and do the miles and do all the training you need to do, and you can be fit. We have cases of that on our team where they're guys that are fit and are capable of running fast times, and you just don't see them execute. And cross country, you're isolated most of the race. Even if there's people passing you or guys you can latch yourself onto and try and rally in, you're by yourself, running on your own, and mental health can really be a big factor. I know I've dealt with that. I had a pretty serious injury my freshman year. I passed out from a heat stroke during our COVID season. And so that set me back for a long time. Not physically, it set me back about, I'd probably say, half a year to a year. Mm-hmm. But mentally, I don't think I got checked in I was checked out for a while. Yeah. I mean, just worried, like especially in cross country, worried about pushing through the heat. Just worried about passing out again, because once it happens to you, your increased chances of it go through the roof. So I was worried about that for a lot, but I guess something just snapped and flipped a switch, and I just kind of decided to focus on other things. And that's the thing with cross country. Anything can trigger you to say, I suck, I'm not going to win this race, or I'm not going to execute well, or I'm not going to do any of the things I've been thinking about this week. And it doesn't matter if it's like because you hurt or because you're by yourself or the course is really hilly or the weather. Multitude of things could happen, and you can psych yourself out. I've been there and done that. And especially with cross country, I would say mental health is huge, because not only is it like mental health in the race, but your mental health through training, not having confidence in yourself, or if you're dealing with depression or anxiety, you can be depressed and really beat on yourself or have anxiety through the race. I've seen people, not on our team, but other teams walk off the course because they have anxiety attacks from the race of itself, whether it's the conditions or their own personal stuff.
Okay, because, my next question was going to be, like, has there been a moment throughout your sports career where your mental health was affected by your sport? But I'm guessing you could say it was the time you had that heat stroke. So my question for you to rebuttal that is, how did you overcome that adversity?
That was a lot of just trying to isolate myself. And I try not to do that on such a team sport, especially with cross country, because I just want to rally the guys and make them feel loved and want to go out there and run for us and run for the school. Yeah. But I kind of had to take a step back for about a year not from them, but like for myself, just to realize like I'm running this mileage, I'm running these workouts with the guys. I'm running with the top dogs, and I'm not executing. And I talked about that earlier. We have guys like that, and I've been one of those guys. You check yourself out, because I'm like, I don't want to pass out again. I don't want to be throwing up unconsciously or stuck in a hospital in the middle of Alabama. That was during COVID, so I was stuck in a hospital during COVID for a day getting exams done on my heart because my heart rate was too high, and I was stuck with people that were OD'd on drugs. It was scary. I didn't want to put myself in a position like that. And, it was just like learning to find the balance between wanting to push myself to the best and help the team, and also, I wouldn't say I endangered myself when I did that, because that's just not. It was a weird situation that shouldn't have happened, because our COVID season in cross country got pushed to February. Mm-hmm. And so we were training for track. I had already run like 3 track races, and they were like, okay, we're running our cross-country conference now in February, because they scratched our cross-country season. And so we went out and ran in Alabama at Huntington, and it was like 80 degrees, 100% humidity, and I'd been training here at Piedmont in 30, 40-degree weather, cold conditions. I go out there, and we had like a shot at winning conference, and I think I was like the determining factor, because I was running with our top guys at the time. Shout out Piedmont legends, Alvin Jacobs. Doesn't get enough recognition, for Piedmont track and field. One of 2 guys ever to go to nationals on the track team.
Dang,
For
bro,
track.
that's huge.
Track is harder than cross country. I'm going to put that out there because there's no qualifying times. You have to make it strictly off your time. But yeah, I was running with the top dogs, AJ, Connor Moranos, and I love my boy Gary. So many school records here at Piedmont. But I was running with them, and I was like the determining factor. And I like went out really hard and put myself in first place and tried to win the race. And the heat got to me, and I like collapsed in the woods. And they had to go dig me out of the woods and call the EMS.
Right, bro.
And so from there, I was just kind of, I woke up and I was like, what the hell is happening to me? Why am I in an ambulance? What's going on? And since then, like from that time period, I'd say my freshman year to my sophomore year, that entire sophomore year, it was like I was totally checked out of running. I loved what I was doing, loved the guys, loved running for coach, loved doing everything, but I wasn't loving it for myself.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing. And just I try to isolate myself and get my headspace right. And that's one of the blessings about cross country is, in track, we can work and grind over the summer without any interruptions. We're on our own. We don't get to practice with anybody. So it was just a good time for me to just kind of hit that reset button and try and be like, okay, sophomore year's over. I'm going to put all that in the past. I'm going to look forward. And once I did that, go look at all my stats online or whatever, you can just see like that significant difference. Whatever I was doing that summer worked, and since then I've been a totally different person.
Yeah. Do you think your sport has helped shape you or grow you as a person?
Both. I would probably say definitely more grow. I'm a pretty stubborn person. You can ask anybody that knows me. I'm pretty stuck in my ways. I don't like to change too much, but
I'm not gonna lie. Bella did tell me that.
Oh yeah,
He told
Bella's
me that at SL, bro. I was like, where's Walker? He was like, yeah, he forgot to sign up. He's a pretty stubborn guy, but I still love him. I was like, yeah, that's real.
Yeah, she'll be the number. She's the number one person that'll tell you I'm stubborn, and I'll admit it. I know I'm stubborn, but cross country has definitely helped me grow. Try and not be as stubborn and not be so brash. I guess that's a good word for it, brash. Try and be a little more caring, because I can come off rude to certain people. It just all comes from my heart, though. Whenever I like talk about things, I may come across rude or like not disrespectful. I'm trying to think of another word. I don't know. Not definitely. It's never intentional though. It's just how I am because I care about everybody. If I'm whether it's giving you advice or it's on the team or talking to people about school and their majors and whatnot, trying to just because I'm a really like caring person too. That's the other thing is most people don't.
Would you say you care too much?
No.
Okay.
I don't care too much, but like the people I love and I care about, I put a lot of effort into. Family, friends, teammates, that kind of stuff. But yeah. So caring and all that stuff, I've really had to like grow and just change the way I've like acted here at Piedmont.
Yeah, that's real. On to the burner questions now. These like little quick questions.
Okay.
Did you have any other offers from any other schools outside of Piedmont?
Yes. So I had an offer from Reinhardt. I'm trying to remember. Okay. So when I was looking after my first cross country season, my coach came. I didn't even think about competing in college. I didn't even know that was really a thing for cross country when I started running. And so my coach came up to me and was like, hey, you have a shot at going and running at college depending on your track season. And then he gave me a list of schools he thought that would work well, a couple of D2 schools. And so my final 4 schools were Piedmont, Reinhardt, Valdosta State, and I think in Oglethorpe. Oglethorpe was the other one. And so Valdosta State and Reinhardt are the only schools that can offer scholarships because Reinhardt's NAIA and Valdosta State's D2. So Reinhardt offered me like $3,000 a semester which wasn't a whole lot,
Yeah.
especially at a school that's more expensive. And I liked Piedmont way better, so I ruled them out instantly, especially after the fact. This is funny. I went and met on my visit to Reinhardt. I talked to the coach, and he's like, "Oh, I could definitely see you developing because your talent's so raw because you've only been running for a year or two, and I can definitely see you contributing and being like one of our top 3 guys." And I was like, "That's great. I'm glad you see the talent and all this stuff." And then I go and find out on the visit with like their with the athletes on the team. I was like, "Oh, so how's the team? Like, are you guys fast? What does that look like?" Because I was trying to, see if it was a place where I could come in and compete and like be able to push myself. And they're like, "Oh, we're looking good. Our coach just signed a couple of recruits." And I was like, "Oh, how fast are they?" And we went and looked, and he's like, "Yeah, our coach just offered this one guy from Kenya a scholarship." And I looked at his times, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not competing with that. I'm out of here. I'm not competing with that. Not competing with that." And so, I think he ended up going to run there. But yeah, so them and then Valdosta State, I looked into, and since I had only run a year and a half, I didn't have a whole lot of like, I don't want to say promise, but like there wasn't enough validation that like my times were gonna be consistent.
Yeah.
So the coach didn't really want me to go run there. He like wouldn't offer me a scholarship.
Oh, okay.
And so I asked my high school coach. I was like, "Well, there's got to be something we can do to like at least get him to let me go talk to him." And we tried setting up, I think, a time trial for him, not for him to come to, but like for me to go run and then to show him the times. And he didn't want anything to do with that. So I was like, "Screw you, okay." And then I looked at Oglethorpe. I didn't really like their coach. He was really creepy.
Oh man.
He like came to me in the shadows one day and was like, "I want you to run for me." And I was
In
like,
the shadows on some Batman.
creepy. More like probably not the real, more like the Joker probably, but not as scary. Just like weird, like a little gremlin.
Oh man, nah, bro.
Yeah.
My second question was: say you're coming back from a long road trip on the road, and Coach Jemison say y'all got sprints when y'all get back, but doesn't give y'all a reason as of why. What or who do you think the reason may be for y'all having to run sprints?
Oh, you're asking like what teammate you think,
Yeah.
or what reason?
It could be a reason or it could be a teammate.
Let's see.
It's like jokingly wise.
Jokingly,
Not trying to throw
okay.
shade. Yeah.
Jokingly, probably Jaden. Jaden probably said something to piss Coach off on the van. Make fun of him for not getting his steps in or drinking too much Pepsi, something like that. Or probably Parker too. I could see Parker getting us in trouble for always being late, causing us to be late for something serious. Because he's so petty. He shows up to practice 1 minute late on purpose.
1 minute?
1 minute late. He practices at 3:15. He shows up at 3:16. On purpose. And he goes, "Coach, I'm here."
1 minute is crazy.
Yeah, definitely them two for sure.
Who's the most wild or funny person on the team, and do you have an appropriate story?
All right, wild and funny. Like right now?
It could be right now, currently.
Right now.
Or
Okay. Right now, I'll say, I'll definitely say Jaden, just because Jaden, me and Jaden joke with Coach a lot.
Yeah.
We'll like mess with him and push his buttons. Jaden will just say things like unknowingly and just start going off, and then he gets everybody worked in, so it just creates a snowball effect, and then it just goes crazy. All time, probably Noah Irwin or Jacob and Gary.
Jacob and Gary.
Yeah, Jacob Ballett. He graduated right before you came here. But Gary is super quiet on the outside, and nobody would think that he's that funny. But Gary will just start talking. He'll start quoting things from regular show or stuff from Cartoon Network or whatever, SpongeBob, and it'll just be funny stuff, and it fits the situation perfectly, and it's just so funny. It's so funny.
Do you have a favorite music artist currently or all time?
See, that's the thing. Music for me is I try not to listen to one person all the time. So
Yeah, same.
I don't like being complacent. I usually switch up music probably. I change what I'm listening to about every week.
Yeah.
And it also depends on the weather. Fall time, I'm almost like 70% of the time listening to country or some type of like indie music, like Noah Kahan or who's the other play? Backseat Lovers is also good, and a couple other bands, or Zach Bryan, obviously.
Zach Bryan, yeah.
But all time, definitely gotta be. Probably, I grew up on rock, so probably like Def Leppard or Creed. Those are like my dad's staples when I was growing up. So those two bands, I can put them on, quote them almost word for word. Like in the van, we had an 8-hour trip to Region, and so I was literally singing like Def Leppard, and me, Parker, and Coach are like singing Def Leppard like just word for word in the van.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
If you could travel anywhere in the world, where are you traveling to?
You want me to be like in the States or like in the like entire world?
It could be the States. It can be the entire world, wherever.
Probably Italy.
Italy,
just because like it might be basic. I don't know. I mean, you hear that from a lot of white girls. They're just like, I want to go to Italy. I want to eat pasta. I want to go shopping. No, I mean, Italy's cool because you can take a boat and go to Greece, and then you can also take a train and go to Monaco in France, and then you can also go to the Alps from there. And then also you got all the Italian coast. You got the ocean, you got the mountains, you got the shops, and you got the history. And in my opinion, other than probably like authentic Mexican food, Italian food is like
that is
like number 2.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I love me some fettuccine Alfredo, chicken fettuccine. I don't like shrimp.
Shrimp. Yeah, I don't think shrimp goes well with that.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Everybody be like, I'm tripping, but it's definitely
chicken's better.
Yeah, for sure.
And especially like veal marsala. Like if you want to get into the exquisite like Italian stuff.
Yeah.
Bella's Italian, so my girlfriend and her family are Italian, and so I go over to their place for the holidays. They started making stuff I didn't even know like existed.
It'd be good too.
Oh my gosh. They're like, here, try this, and I'm like, oh, okay, what is this? And it's like they make this thing called pizza gaina. It's like a family recipe.
Mm-hmm.
I won't divulge the secrets on the podcast.
Yeah.
But essentially, it's like basically a calzone, but not a calzone.
Bro, calzones are so good, bro.
And it's like it's not wet on the inside from the steam. Okay. It's like crispy all throughout. Did not know that was a thing.
Oh my
and they make like handmade inyakis, like the little potato dumplings.
Yeah.
They make sauce from scratch, pizza from scratch, and sometimes they make actual pasta from scratch. And they've got like I didn't even realize this. Italians have like all kinds of dessert too. More than like the basic cannolis and tiramisu. They have like Italian Christmas cookies, Italian triple layer cake, Italian cream cake. I'm telling you, as a runner, someone who runs 80, 90 miles a week, I stuff my face during the holidays. Does not matter. I don't care.
If you're going to a gas station for snacks, what you walking out with? You got 3 items.
3 items? Okay. So definitely, I'll say that the item combo is a drink, a chip, and a candy.
Got to. Okay, cool. Just making sure we're on the same court.
All right. Drink, blue raspberry body armor.
Oh, that's new.
That's new?
I had not heard of that one before.
Blue raspberry body armor?
Nah, bro.
Oh, they sell them at the market.
For real?
At Starbucks. You got to get one.
I usually just get fruit punch or my favorite strawberry banana.
That one's okay.
Okay.
I will say the body armor can switch for me. Cherry limeade or blue raspberry body armor.
Okay. Never had cherryberry.
Top tier body armor. I put body armor over Gatorade because it's not as sweet and it's more like refreshing.
Okay.
So when I drink Gatorade, my mouth gets all like dry and I'm like, I start licking my lips. And I'm like, I'm not about to be doing that. Okay, so one of those 2 body armors, beef jerky.
Okay.
The definitely teriyaki. Between teriyaki or like a spicy one. Sometimes I go in there and try and find the local beef jerkies, and I'll just get the like spicy beef jerky that's got like the pepper flakes all over it.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then candy, the Reese's Sticks.
Reese's Sticks.
So it's like a Kit Kat, but Reese's. So it's got wafer in it, and between each wafer is peanut butter covered in chocolate.
Is that like exotic? I've never seen that before.
They sell them at, where do I get it? They sell them at the Quick Trip down the road.
Oh, okay.
And they sell them, I think, at the Chev across from the village.
Okay.
So that would be my those three for sure.
If you're stranded on an island, what 3 things you making sure you have with you?
Let's see. I'm a pretty serious guy. So, like, if I'm stranded on an island, I'm thinking, like, long term, I got to survive.
Yeah.
So, I'm bringing a radio.
Okay.
And then I'm bringing, let's see, you make a fire. Definitely some type of weapon. So, whether it's like a machete or a knife. I would say probably.
Machete. Yo, I haven't heard that yet.
I'd probably say like a big hunting knife, because then I could tie it to a stick and use it to hunt, or use it to catch fish.
Okay.
And then probably the third thing would be clothes, like an extra pair of clothes.
Yeah. I mean, that's smart. I mean, yeah, you think of survival tactics.
Yeah, because I mean, low key, like if you've seen Castaway, if you're stranded on an island, you're gonna be there for a while.
Yeah, because Draylon, bro, he had the fun. Like, I bring this up on probably every episode that I sent him. He had the funniest answer. He said iPhone, AirPods, and the iPhone charger. I said, yo, how you gonna survive?
He could have charged the phone.
That's what I'm saying. But, you know, Walker, I appreciate you for coming on. This is my last question for you, though.
Okay.
If you could look back and give your younger self advice, what would it be? Everybody be thinking and contemplating on this one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because I know my so stubborn when I got here. I'd say, see, that's hard too, because I'm just so like nonchalant. Like people bring up stuff from the past and they think that like it bothers me, and I don't care. I'm like, I'm where I am now. That stuff doesn't matter. Probably patient. Just be patient. Everything will come to you. I tend to be impatient sometimes. I've tried to be better about that. Whether it's with running or stuff in the real world. I remember for the longest time I was ready to get out of Piedmont.
Yeah.
I thought about transferring just because everybody else was, and because like my best friend ended up transferring out, and so I was like, oh, I'm going to transfer with him, and because that's when running was not going the best for me, and school was kind of weird.
Yeah.
So I was just being impatient with my time here. So definitely, like coming in, just tell myself, be patient, trust the process. Everything's going to work out, and no matter if it's good or bad, it's going to have a good repercussion on you. It's going to mold you and shape you into being a better person and the person you need to be to succeed in life. Because without those bad things, how are you going to succeed, and how are you going to learn from that? You know, if things are good all the time and something awful happens, you're not going to know what to do. And the only way to, you know, continue climbing is to survive the downs in life. And that's just been my mentality, is just accept it. The world is what it is, and, you know, God puts everything in his place for a reason to help shape and mold you. And, you know, patience is one of those things that you just got to sit there and be like, in God's timing, everything is possible, and you just got to roll with it.
Dang, bro, I ain't gonna lie, you probably had the best answer to that question for me, like, throughout the whole podcast. But before I end, man, you know, I started this at Sail this past year as a navigator with the kids. I always said, let's be great today, you know. I was screaming out in the lunchroom or in the breakfast room when everybody would be eating breakfast in the morning. So before I end the pod and you leave, man, can I get a let's be great today from you?
All right. Let's be great today.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate it, Walker, for coming on, brother.
Man. Good to be here.
Live Tap family, that is the end of the Walker Capelle episode. Y'all tune into Thursday's episode. We got Piedmont men's soccer players Nathan Jacome and Dory Mathis tapping in with me. Like I said, man, let's be great today. Y'all have a great day.
Let's go.